and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
What is going on, you guys? I got it playing in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear that. But either way, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, here with my brother from another big game, James. Another episode of Best of Enemies, man. Let's get it, man. It is about that time, bro. We have been talking about this draft for months on end now. This has been something we've talked about for a long time now. So it's almost that time. We're a week away, a little bit less than a week away. How you been, brother? How you living? How you living?
I mean, I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready for this draft, see what's going to happen. Just seeing what these boys going to do. Could be some surprises. Could be some things going on out there because it's been all quiet on the front. So, we'll see. It's a week away. It's a lot of options. We're going to go through that on the draft. There's a lot of options out there. But in my opinion, Cowboys really got to hit on these 3 picks.
Yeah, we've been talking about this draft a lot. We've been talking about how important it is really for both of us. Obviously, the Eagles, they took a totally different approach to free agency than the Cowboys have. I think that's a nice way of saying it. But the Eagles have been able to go out there, sign some guys. Now just re-signing Devontae Smith, which is a huge re-signing for the Eagles. I believe it was the same draft class as Micah Parsons.
What did you say they're going to do? They signing him all hasty about it. You say something on Twitter about that?
I did. I didn't think that it made sense to rush it. I didn't think it made sense to rush it. I felt like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you got to get it done now. You got to get it done now." My big thing was make sure you utilize that 5th-year option, which they did. So that I'm cool with how it went down. I didn't think that there was any huge rush. That was my big thing. The way people were talking about it, it felt like nothing else mattered if we didn't re-sign Devontae Smith, which I just didn't feel like that was the case. I felt like we had time, but he's from the same class and I want to bring this on you now, because I mean, we all know how I feel about the re-signing and just this team in general in the free agency, but that brings up the question. I mean, Micah Parsons is from the same draft class. You guys are having contract talks with him. You look at CeeDee Lamb. He's from the year after, if I'm not mistaken, but you guys are having contract discussions with him. And then you got Dak Prescott. I mean, what is going on? I feel like the Cowboy. I don't even want to sit here and make it sound like I'm trying to talk junk, because I'm really not. But like, what's going on? I feel like those are your big 3 right now. And they're just in such loop.
I feel what you're saying. Y'all feeling good over there in Philly because y'all did your thing in free agency. But the fact still remains, y'all choked it out last year. So ain't really nothing y'all can really talk about to us right now. You feel me? Y'all choked it up last year. So Philly fans, be easy, chill out. We ain't talking over here. We ain't talking over here in Dallas because it's not great over there either. But easy over there because y'all choked it up. So ain't no talking right now. But as far as the big 3, as you would say, Dallas are not, and Stephen Jones has said this, they're not the trendsetters as far as the contracts. They're not going to set the market. They said they don't do that. They're not going to do that. I think the Cowboys, and a lot of people have talked about it, some people have thrown it in the air that they're more of the reactionary team. They're going to wait to see when somebody is signed and then follow that pattern, kind of go with what that market is talking about. But they're not going to set the market. So that's why you're not going to see a Micah Parsons be signed before anybody for some mega deal, because they want to sit back and see what people are signing people for and then kind of gauge what they want to do afterwards. And that's how they're going to do it, probably with CeeDee Lamb. They're probably going to wait till Jefferson gets signed, and once he gets signed, they'll probably go right after CeeDee Lamb, because now they have a bar what they can work with and something that they can go with. And I feel like that's how Stephen Jones does it, and Michael Parsons is going to be in the same boat. So it's not going to be some situation where it was like with your guy Devontae Smith, where he's going to be signed all early. Nope, they're not setting no markets. They want to see what the market is and then kind of go from there. So that's what I feel like they're doing, at least with Micah and CeeDee. Dak, I don't know. That could be a whole different story.
Yeah, and that's something I will definitely touch on. But I want to ask you because you did bring up how we signed them early and we set the market, so to speak, right? Do you think, because me personally, at least from the way it looks from us, like it feels like that's the smart thing to do is to kind of be ahead of the curve. Are you cool with them kind of sitting back waiting? Because even like a two-part question of it, because once Justin Jefferson gets signed, I'm not saying that CeeDee Lamb is better or worse, but they're not far off. They're not too far off. And now Devontae Smith, he is probably a little bit further off from a Justin Jefferson than a CeeDee Lamb. So if Justin Jefferson would have got $30 million, I don't think it would have changed Devontae Smith's contract too much. But are you nervous that Justin Jefferson goes out there, gets some absorbent amount of money, and now you're stuck here having to try and figure out, is CeeDee Lamb worth that type of money? You know what I'm saying?
They're signing CD Lamb. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. So it don't really matter. They're gonna figure that out with CD. He's gonna get re-signed. Okay, I'm not worried about that. So like I said, if Justin Jefferson signs for 30 million, he won't be right. He won't be far behind, and they'll work something out. But CD Lamb is gonna be here in Dallas. He ain't going
But
nowhere.
but do you
So
think that's the best move to do? Do you think that's the best route to
that's the
go?
only that's it's not the best route in my opinion at all times, but this is the Cowboys way, so I can't think about my route.
Yeah,
I have to think about their route. You get what I'm saying? Just like
I
when we
definitely
talk
feel
about
that.
draft picks, I can't think about who I want to draft. I got to think about who they draft and how they draft. Because if I think about how I want to do it, I'm going to be frustrated, and they're never going to get what I
Yeah,
want. You know what I'm saying? So
I
we
hear
always
that.
have to look at what how they do it. So that's how they operate. That's how they do it. And I'm already in my head thinking that Justin Jefferson, wait till he gets signed, and then CD Lamb is going to be signed next after that. He's going to be signed. Micah Parsons, I believe, is going to be signed. Both of those guys will be in Cowboys uniforms. Like I
Yeah.
told y'all, we'll see about the Dak thing.
And that's a big question right there. I don't even know how to ask a question about that because obviously I didn't know. I told you right before the show. You was like, "Oh, you haven't been checking what I'm saying. You haven't been." I was like, "Nah, cue me a dog. Cue me." I didn't expect to hear what I heard from you, but explain it to me because I cut you off. I didn't want you to give too much about it. But what has got you there realistically? All hate aside, I'm not going to talk junk. I really want to know what got you there.
Well, I just been thinking, this past year. And have you ever heard of that show, Eight is Enough?
Mm-hmm.
There was a show way back in the day called Eight is Enough. Tony Romo had eight. It just happened to be eight because of the injuries, and now Dak is at eight. I just feel like this, and I'm throwing it out there, just my opinion. If you're not a first round draft pick, and I said this, first round draft picks, if you're close with a first round draft pick, you're gonna keep. Okay, we'll sign you again. We'll sign you again because you're that top pick. You're close. You're right there. You feel like you're right there. You're gonna get a lot more, maybe more leeway. I feel
True.
like after that first, maybe second round, if you're a third or fourth rounder, maybe even a fifth, and you was balling out, in my opinion, you got 2 deals, 8 years to make that work. And if you can't get it done in them 8 years, I feel like what are we trying to do it now for the next four? What needs to be proven what's going to be proven to me in the next four now? You get what I'm saying? I'm cool with the reset, and I said this that I feel like I want Dak to go somewhere where I feel like it's not going to be a problem. It's not going to be the situation where it's going to be the back and forth. Go somewhere where people will love you. You know what I'm saying? Look at some teams that will really love you, and you can go somewhere and be great. Because I've said this, and I'm gonna say it now. I don't think he's going to win here in Dallas. If they re-sign Dak Prescott, I think it's a mistake. I think because you got a coach in a lame duck season. If that coach does not win, now Dak goes into a whole new system at 31 years old, and you don't know who it's going to be. A lot of uncertainty. Then are you going to dot yourself as the front office of you just re-signed him in quite a bit of money, right? And if he doesn't win or the team doesn't win, are you gonna second doubt? Are you gonna second guess that signing? You're gonna hear a lot of noise. You're gonna hear a lot of controversy, just a lot of talk. And to me, I'm just kind of done with the talk. I'm over with it. I want him to go somewhere else and be successful and be great and see if he can do it somewhere else. And Cowboys, you got Trey Lance over here, and I'm not pumping the Trey Lance train, but you brought him over here with a fourth round draft pick. What'd you bring him over here for? I'm not believing that you just brought him over here to develop. you know what I'm saying, make some moves and see what happens, or play this last year out and do some other things. Because I just feel like he's just not going to win a chip here now. I feel like you had good teams and it didn't happen. And I just don't feel like it's going to happen here now. And it's no diss against Dak or anything like that. I just feel like the way the structure is, I feel like the front office doesn't really all the way believe in him like that. I feel like that's why there's the pause on the contract. You went through franchise tags already. They took forever to sign you. I don't feel like where there's great belief in you that you're the guy. And I wonder, I feel like there is doubt where they're like, hey, you're good, but we don't know if you're that guy great. So we'll see. Just my opinion, what I feel. And I just feel like there needs to be a reset now.
I respect that. And I will say this to play devil's advocate. I feel like if you're gonna do it, now's the time. You look at the Eagles. Obviously, they have a pretty young core of people that they're gonna be moving forward with. But outside of that, you have Washington, who's kind of trying to build.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I'm not to cut you off, but let me ask you this. So you got Jalen Smith, right? I mean Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
He comes in there eight years. Okay, he did the Super Bowl, but if you had a Jalen Hurts for like 8-9 years. Second round pick, okay, but then are you going to start to say, okay, can he do it? You would. You're not going to ask yourself these questions.
Definitely.
I'll
go one further. You look at people like Carson Wentz. You look at people like that have had success in this city. Once you don't do it one time, we're going to be looking at you like, So we just paid you, right? And I'm not going to sit here. And there's going to be Eagles fans that are going to be like, no, we're sticking with Jalen. That sounds good until you start losing. if you're not getting where you want to go, we're definitely going to be
if it's not progressing, or if you've seen that Super Bowl season, then you don't see it again, and then you see the regression. You're not going to still keep on pumping the Jalen Hurts train now. You're going to be say, hey, we don't know if they was that guy, and that could have been one of those one-time things. You have to look at all factors. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like it's not like you haven't had good teams here, and I feel like it hasn't happened. And I just don't feel like now it's at the point where, another 4 years is going to make it happen here in Dallas. Maybe it can happen somewhere else, and I would love to see if it could. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys fans, have their own opinions, and it's really not bashing Dak. It's just I don't feel like you're going to win here now in this situation, especially with the lame duck season, in my opinion. It's going to be more just turnover and chaos. Possibly new coach, just a lot of uncertainty, all that money tied in the quarterback. If you sign him, you go with the other guy where it's going to be cheap for you. That's what you want. Yeah. You want money under the cap. You got a 23-year-old first rounder who you could say in your head, it didn't work in San Francisco, but it could work in Dallas. And once again, people need to understand I'm not pumping the train. I'm saying the train of thought. Because why did you spend the 4th round draft pick last year for a young 23-year-old first rounder to develop and give up? I'm sorry. I refuse to believe that. And if you're going to do it, this is the best time to do it.
It really is. Yeah. It's interesting. It really is interesting. I know. Again, this is me trying to be as unbiased as possible, but I know that Jerry Jones is an issue. But I'll even put this with the Eagles. I'll say it with the Eagles. Last year, we put a lot of it on this coach, that coach, and Howie Roseman and that guy. At some point, whether it be in the season or it be in a career of a player, you gotta say maybe it's the player, maybe it's the players, maybe it's the what I'm saying, the surrounding. Maybe it's more than just the guy that drafted him, the guy calling the plays. Maybe there's something more going on. And I feel like with the Cowboys, there's always you have decent coaching, now, especially outside of the Garrett era, but you've always had decent coaching, really good assistant coaches. I feel like you've had good teams, but there's always been that something, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it really is, but it's that just something that you just can't get over. People were saying it was the Jimmy Johnson stuff. It feels like there's something holding back your teams, even when they're uber talented. I feel like last year you guys were uber talented. The year before that were pretty talented. So it's I just don't get it, and that's from a fan.
Yeah, well, we all don't get it. I don't get it. I wonder. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't get it either. I'm sure a lot of people are confused. A lot of people are trying to put a finger on how do you go in with these talented teams. You've been and you just lose. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And this is not the Cowboys thing, but it's people are trying to put a finger on this because it's not like you haven't had talent. You have good enough coaches, good enough players to do it, and there's always a failure. So I don't know if it's a curse. I don't know what it is, but there's something that just seems to, it's just not right. Now, I also feel like if we're looking at the football side of it, we talked about this on the final word yesterday, how Stephen Jones, that cheap way, I feel like that cheap way can keep you from getting something too. Because I feel like when you are more aggressive, things happen for you. When you sit back and you're conservative and you lay and always wait for things to happen instead of making things happen, you don't take the next step. And that's what I feel like the Cowboys do. They wait for things to happen. They don't make things happen. And
Yeah.
that's their problem.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate problem, in my opinion, right there. When you wait for things to happen, it don't happen. When you make things happen, it does. Or when you try to make things happen, things start getting in the system and in the air because you're
Playing
aggressive.
catch up.
Those natural things, yes, naturally help. But when you're sitting back and always kind of waiting, because that's what the Cowboys do with their contracts, with everything they do, they just sit back and wait. That's just, to me, not a way of winning. When Jerry won those Super Bowls back in the day, he was aggressive as hell. He was aggressive, didn't give a hell, had a football god, and that's what they were trying to build, is to get their team back to the top. Now I just feel like the brand, if you go home, Joe, and you own an organization, right, and you won a Super Bowl bad, right, Joe, but you are still 400 million in a positive yearly, or you're in the positive, you're still making buku money. Are you going to go to bed sleeping, sleepless nights?
Yeah, you ain't gotta think about it too much.
You want to win, but you ain't gonna trip, are you?
Yeah. Facts. Nah, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna wake up happy tomorrow. I feel you. And we're gonna get into
Why
this.
can't we think? You feel me? Why can't we think that that's what they think? Why
Yeah.
can't I think that that's what they think? And turn that off, dog. Go somewhere with that.
and we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into the super chat in a second. But that's what I was saying when I was asking you about, like, do you think it makes sense to wait? Because it feels like you're just playing catch up. Like I said, you're always kind of behind the eight ball, and you got to do things to make it right instead of be like, hey, we might not have gave you exactly what the top guy's getting now, but we gave it to you first. You know what I'm saying? You don't have like that foot in anywhere. So I just, that's why I was like, it just doesn't make sense to wait, especially for a guy like Justin Jefferson that he's gonna get a bag. He's and what worries me with Justin Jefferson even more so is that he could get traded to a team that doesn't care about giving him money. You know what I'm saying? Like, or he could stay on a team like the Vikings that they're just like, we're gonna suck. We don't have a quarterback, or we're gonna get a young quarterback, so we're just gonna pay you buku money that doesn't make sense and kind of messes up the whole wide receiver, market or whatever it may be. But you do have a $10 super chat as well, right there from Steve. Can you read it?
Appreciate my guy Steve Lumpy said the dynamic duo holding it down, the fan base salute. Definitely, appreciate it. Like I said, this ain't. If people really understand what's going on, that I'm not trying to bash no Dak or anything like that. I just feel like, it's 8 years. You had good teams. Y'all had good teams. You have a coach, and it's still not working. Another 4 years I feel like it's just always in the air of, of everybody. I feel like this always has to prove the talk for him. I'm tired of that. So it's like when he plays a great game in the Cowboys world, I'm just voicing my opinion about this. He plays a great game, right, Joe? It's like people in the air are like, I told you so. It's like, why you got to tell somebody so? Be good, good. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's always somebody, like, because the naysayers, and so the Cowboys overcompensate for it, like, fans, like, just go extra for it because some people are so negative with it. But I just feel like a lot of people are like, hey, it's just like with Romo. Nobody cares about the regular season with Dak no more. Nobody cared about the regular season with Romo. It was about the playoffs now. We know what you can do in the regular season. We know you're a good quarterback. We know what you can do. We know you can throw touchdowns. We know you're a leader. We know you can guide the team. But you got to do it in the playoffs. And if you don't, then why are you still there?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is my opinion.
No,
I hope if somebody would do me the same way. Like, if I kept going to the playoffs every year and I was the quarterback and I wasn't doing it, Yeah, eventually I would understand people saying, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, something's got to change. So I mean, at some point, you got to just tear the Band-Aid off, I guess. I mean, but I said it before. I felt like they don't like Dak. I've said it like jokingly, but I've said it serious as well. Feels like Dallas, the front office, either doesn't believe in him or just don't like him because the stuff that they make
I feel like they don't believe in him. I just don't feel like they believe in him. I mean, feel like that just because you're on air saying we believe in the world and Dak and this and that, I'm not believing it, Joe. I've been saying it since 2019, especially particularly Stephen Jones. I think Jerry loves Dak, but I still think there's we wonder, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, I look at the contract that was done last time. It was you fired your agent, you switched your agent, you went with a cutthroat type who don't play around. You got a real good deal. You got the deal you wanted. No trade. You can't do this to me. You can't do that to me. Okay, I'm just thinking in my head, Joe. If you have a agency that's representing you and they're putting, you can't do this to me, you can't do that to me, you can't. Does that make me think that this organization really believes in me if I'm putting all these clauses in my contract?
Facts.
That
100%.
contract told me everything. He was, besides Derek Carr, one of the only ones that had a no trade clause. So basically, Derek Carr had to put that in there because he felt like y'all was going to do that to me.
Yeah.
That's why I put it in there. So if y'all believe in him, why he go and do that? I'm sorry, I'm not going to get over that contract that was done. And that told me everything about the relationship. And I keep on saying it. Tony Romo kissed the ring. And that's why he got them deals. And that's why they loved him. Dak don't kiss the ring. Because he don't kiss the ring, there's a different feel for him.
So, I mean, how does this end well? Like, is there a ending of all this that you're like, I didn't see that coming. I'm glad we were able to figure this out.
Do the trade. Talk to Dak and try to make a trade. That would make everything. Now you Cowboys show how smart you are on both folds. Now Cowboys show how smart you are. You got Trey Lance. Now go ahead and get a bunch of picks. Get busy in that draft. Build around your player because you're going to want to prove yourselves right because you did this. I don't think you got the cojones to do it. But if you did do it like that. Build this team around him. Go ahead and show how you're the organization and show how you know what you're doing. And then Dak, I want you to hopefully go to a team that loves you. You're already with a really good team. And honestly, I want to see if you can do it somewhere else now. I want to see because a lot of people have said, hey, man, if Dak was somewhere else, he'd have 3 championships. Well, I want to see that. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see if that can happen because I said this. There ain't no free agent quarterback that has left Dallas and went somewhere else and won. There's been free agent defensive ends, defensive tackles, linebackers, corners that have left and went on teams that went to the Super Bowl or either won the Super Bowl. That Dallas has not had a starting quarterback franchise type leave the organization, go to another team and win. I ain't gonna lie. I want to see it for Dak. For me, I don't. If this organization don't believe in you, I don't want him a part of that. Go somewhere else where somebody believes in you and actually messes with you and says, okay, you're our guy and we're going to do everything to make this team great. We're going to build around you. That's what I want because I don't feel like the Cowboys do that. Look at it right now. Dallas hadn't done anything in free agency. We know that, but this is one of the lowest period of time that if you look at the other years, even with McCarthy, they went and got free agents. You feel me? So now in my opinion, the setup is coming. You sign your top guys. You're a top heavy team. You don't have the depth. So when you start losing them games, who you going to start pointing the finger at? These guys. No, I don't want you, Dak, have to deal with that no more. Go on somewhere else and be successful. And then y'all start with Trey Lance and show how smart you are.
I respect that. I mean, I feel you right now. I really do feel exactly what you're saying because if I take away my hatred for the Cowboys and I just look at it as a football fan, I've said this before on shows with you on this show. I've said it to you probably just like in private, but how they treat him is kind of weird. It doesn't fit. And I've said it before on this show that I didn't think he would make
disrespectful.
it that long.
Just say it. It's disrespectful.
It is. I didn't think he would make it this long with the team just because they never put their all into him. Like, they might say, oh, yeah, no, we love Dak, but it just always something felt wrong.
And you're an outsider, bro. And you're saying that, and Joe, you always keep it funky, and you're an outsider saying this. And I know other people have said this, and I feel this 100% way. You see it from the outside looking in, and I'm seeing it from the inside of, because I do Cowboys content. I'm not going to believe where they say they believe in him and this and that, because if you believed in him, you would really build around him. You would really go all out for him. You don't do it. It's like, okay, yeah, we're doing it because he keeps us winning. And, when you went and got Trey Lance, he did the deal. You went and got Trey Lance,
Yeah.
Joe, why'd you get Trey Lance?
That deal was funny. That deal was definitely funny.
And a fourth rounder. Their fourth rounders are cherished. They love their draft picks, and fourth round picks are something that are important to them. I just feel like it's a first rounder in their head. They feel like, maybe it can work in here. It didn't work there. It could work here. And you're young. You're still on a cheap deal. He's on the 5th-year option. They paid it. So if he was to be a backup, he's going to be like a $5 million, $6 million backup. Really?
Yeah. And Trigger Trey, man. I liked him coming out of college. I did like him more than I liked Carson Wentz coming out of college. I thought that he had better tape than Carson Wentz coming out of college. I want to keep reiterating that, okay? Not like him as a player.
And Jerry, listen what you're saying. Look at Jalen Hurts. Look at Lamar Jackson. Even Pat Mahomes. Guys that can run. Dak could do it in the very beginning, but he doesn't do it now. If you look at Trey Lance's tape, and I'm just saying maybe what the Cowboys are looking at, you looked at Trey Lance's tape, he can run that ball like Jalen Hurts was. Like, he can get it and go. He not scared to run that ball. He a big dude, too. So he ain't scared to run that ball.
Definitely.
When Cowboys got Quincy Carter, it was because the black quarterback was starting to become a thing now, and Jerry wanted in on it. This is my opinion. Jerry wanted it on it. And he reached for Quincy Carter. Everybody said Quincy Carter needed to go back to college. He wasn't ready. He had that phenomenal freshman year, but he fell off, and they said he needed to stay in college. Jerry reached for him. Why? Because he wanted to get in that mix of, I got the athletic quarterback too. We got an athletic quarterback. Yeah. Ain't about you just loving a player. Is because now you trying to brag on, we got that too. And if you got to Trey Lance, and let's say you hit on it, you don't think the Cowboys ain't going to pump out their chest on that one? And I also feel Trey Lance kisses the ring. San Francisco left you from dead. You come over here to Dallas, and they're feeling like they're believing in you. You going to tell me he ain't kissing that ring?
Yeah. Especially coming out of college, he didn't have much tape. So, you're really believing in him. You're really like, coming off that injury, 2 injuries, if I'm not mistaken, 2 back-to-back major injuries, because I don't think he played. No, I'm lying. He played the 16 games right after he got hurt, and then he got hurt in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, he's had a couple of injuries already, major ones. You don't have much tape on him. He was a FCS school. There's so many reasons to be like, all right, maybe we should just give up on the hope that this guy. But that's real belief. That's true belief. But it should be interesting. And shout out to everybody that believes in us, because we're at 200 people in the chat, man. There's a lot of people in this chat, and I do see the Eagles people trickling in. But this is how we are all best of enemies at this point, because we are letting y'all vent. We get it. We've been there. We've had, terrible coaching staffs. We've had terrible GMs sometimes. So we definitely get what y'all saying. We're not playing yet, so we're not going to talk too much junk. But it's interesting to hear, because it feels like that from our point of view. It really does. That it's like, y'all don't even believe in your own players. You know what I'm saying? And we say that throughout the season, and I know it's, a reflex to be like, no, that's our squad. But now
you can tell, Joe, when a team believe in you. Like, you can tell from afar when that team just be feeling you. Like, okay, that's our guy. Like, you just know when. And to me, they knew Romo was their guy. They love Romo. You feel me? They knew Romo was their guy, and they built around him. They built that offensive line. They built that team around him. They didn't build around Dak. Dak caught onto that because Romo got hurt. So Ezekiel Elliott wasn't for no Dak Prescott. Right. Ezekiel Elliott was for Tony Romo. The offensive line that they built, and when they got Ezekiel Elliott, they were all thinking, we got Romo with We lost to DeMarco Murray. Now we got an Ezekiel Elliott. The offensive line is still good. You feel me? Come on, dog. Cut that out. They ain't did nothing. If you look how they built this team since Dak has been there, they ain't been building around him.
One question I want to ask, and then we'll get into the draft. I know once you told me about how you were feeling about Dak, I was like, oh, well, I know what we're going to talk about. But no, one last question I want to ask you, and this is obviously just a total hypothetical, and it is what it is. But if you went back to the draft where you guys got Dak Prescott, and you go back to that year that you guys were nasty, and you had to make that decision once Romo got healthy, are you putting him back in, knowing everything you know now?
That's what I had talked about. That 2016 season, right? So when Romo broke his back and he was out all those games, they kept Dak going, and everybody wondered, should they have played Romo in the playoffs? Because remember when he played you guys in that Philadelphia game, he came right in, looked crisp, boom, 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 took it right down the field and scored a touchdown. And at that time, let's keep it real, he still was the better quarterback than Dak Prescott at that time. Yeah. But it was. I don't really know what happened there. In my opinion, Joe, I don't know. I still go back and forth. Should they play Romo that game because he was ready, and could he have been able to deal with it? But we also know Tony Romo has that pertinent to choke. We also know that he tries to do too much and throws them stupid interceptions, and we know that. So that damn well could have happened in that game too. So for us to sit there and say, "Oh, Romo would have played in that game," we won. That's a whole damn lie, because he would have damn near probably choked that game and throw a stupid interception that game, like he always did. So let's not forget about what Romo did. He was a damn good quarterback, but he had that choke gene. And I don't think Dak has a choke gene, but I just think that he just need it all kind of. He just needs somebody to fully believe in Dak and say, "Dak, you are guy." And I feel like that'll make him even a better player, because I don't feel like it's there. And I'm going to just read this one thing. Cowboys Brown said, "I'm not a Jerry Jones apology." He said, "But you don't give a player $160 million on a no trade clause if you don't like the player." No, that's when he took that agent. The agent said, it don't matter what you say, because they don't like that agent. It's been well documented. They don't like that agent or the agency because they cutthroat and they don't like dealing with him. And they have no choice. What quarterback was there when Dak was sitting out there? Andy Dalton. They didn't have nobody. So when your hand is forced, you will sign and you will do things sometimes that you may not want to do. Yes, you will. Because at the end of the day, he still kept them competitive in their head. We're still winning with him. We're still competitive with him. So we would sign him. If they weren't winning with him, no, that wouldn't be a thought. But they were still winning with him. They hadn't had losing seasons. So, yeah, why wouldn't they do that? Yeah, and it keeps them in the – Jerry Jones says, I always want the Cowboys in the know. And what does Dak do? He keeps the Cowboys in the media day in and day out.
Can't deny that. You cannot deny that. That boy, the Cowboys. Okay, we always talk about the Cowboys. It feels like, and it hasn't been for football in quite a while, to be honest with you. But people bringing up Royce Freeman. You guys got the steal of the
cut it out
with that one.
Cut it out. Ain't nobody.
I think y'all paid him real money too. That's the craziest part.
Man, I don't really care. Like I said, I'm just want to see what they're going to do in that situation right there. That's what I'm looking at. What y'all doing with that? That's what y'all need, because I feel like it's holding the team back because it's always this talk about it. Get it done, get it over, and get it out the way. Make a move and move on from this. Or if you sign him, you feel me? But I just feel like if you sign him, it's a mistake. You're not going to win here, and just going to be a lot of more frustration. A lot of people going to be angry and mad when it don't happen in the playoffs, and it's not really going to be that, because I just feel like if he went somewhere else, he could win. Your time is done, dog. That time winning is done.
What if he gonna win? What if he goes to Washington?
No, he ain't going no damn Washington. You know where I would love for him to go? You know where I would love for Dak Prescott to go?
Yeah.
The Raiders.
That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. That would be
the perfect destination for him.
I wouldn't even mind like the Jets. I think the Jets would be interesting for him, because then that opens
up
the
Vikings.
Window. Yeah, the Vikings, especially if they could keep Justin Jefferson.
But I just feel like he would be perfect with them Ravens.
Yeah,
Raiders. I feel like it would be
fun to watch. It would be fun to watch. They still
That
got
would be fun
Devontae
to
Adams,
watch,
right?
bro.
They still got Adams, right? Devontae
Yeah.
Adams. Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
fun
they
to
still
watch.
got Devontae, and ain't like they ain't got a defense.
Yeah, that would be
Antonio
interesting.
Pierce.
Yeah, he's a player's coach. You know what I'm saying? So that would be interesting to watch. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't hate Dak. That's what I'm starting to learn. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate Dak. I just hate Dallas. So if he goes and has a good career somewhere else, God bless him, man. I don't even care, bro. Go do
Right.
your thing. Go do your thing. Go somewhere else and have fun. I don't want to see you win with the Cowboys. That's all I care about. But we are gonna get into this mock draft. This is the final one. So, feel free to take your time on your picks, James. I'm gonna take my time, probably. You know what I'm saying? I got kind of in my mind what I want to do. But this is the final one. So I was thinking about this, and before we get into this, how would you feel about if we tell everybody? Well, now I would be telling them now, but what if we had everybody send us like their mock drafts? We pick like 2 or 3 of our favorites, and we just talk about them on next week's show, because obviously we're gonna have some time to kill during the draft itself.
Because I know you have probably people send you mock drafts. I've had people send me mock drafts and give my thoughts on it. Yeah, let's definitely do that, and we can definitely cipher which ones, and we'll pick the top 2 from each team, and then kind of talk about them and what they really do, because it's a plentiful draft. But as I said before, Dallas is kind of they're missing that 4th round pick with Trey Lance, so they haven't really made the moves in the free agency like they used to. So it's just like, hey, they got to really nail these 3 picks. A lot of pressure. Keep it real.
So yeah, everybody that's in the chat, again, we got over 200 people in the chat. Shoot us a DM on our either Twitter, wherever you follow us. I think Twitter is really like the mainstay of everybody. So shoot us a Twitter DM. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I sound so old when I say that. Shoot us a little Twitter DM real quick. And
shoot a little Twitter DM.
Yeah, show us those mock drafts. You got those mocky drafts, and we'll go through them, and we'll give you guys shout outs. Maybe, who knows? We'll figure something out cool. I'm sure. I don't want to commit to anything right now, but we'll figure something out cool for it. Now let's get into this mock draft, the final mock draft. I can't believe I'm saying
the final mock draft. Yeah, that's crazy. The draft is finally here.
It's Thursday. It is Thursday, and we will be live if you're still free for it. We should be going live for the first round of the draft, so that should be fun. I was about to start it, but I'm so used to doing it by myself at this point. All right.
Y'all lost the pick because of your trade, right?
Yeah. So it should be updated. Okay. So I'm trying to damn. All right, never mind. I was gonna try and trade up to like numbers. I've seen Jared Verse drop to like number 18, so I was kind of hoping I could maybe trade up to there and get him, but no, never mind. We'll just let it go now. No fun. I like that. Move up. They probably want. I'm gonna assume they want a quarterback. Is there still a quarterback left? No, Michael Penix. Maybe they want Talise Fuaga. I know that people probably wouldn't mind Talise Fuaga. I'm going to be real with you. I do think that the Eagles are probably going to pick along those lines, either O-line or D-line. I did put up a poll on my chat asking them what position they think should go first. 53% of it is at cornerback. I don't know if that's where they would go, but I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm looking at Chop Robinson. I'm looking at Cooper DeJean. Look, Talise Fuaga would be an amazing pick. I don't think he'll be there, 1, and 2, I just think that there's so many good offensive linemen in this draft that you can get in 2nd round, maybe 4th, 5th round. So I don't want to tie myself to an offensive lineman this early and miss out on a day 1 impact player. So I am going to take this trade, but I'm going to try and take away the 120, and I'll give you 171 and 210. All right, so you're gonna be a jerk about it.
Hell to the no.
They ain't giving you nothing, dog. All right, I'll move up the spots, whatever. I was trying to get greedy. So they want to get my pick again for a 1st round pick. Now I'm good. So they took Cooper DeJean. I did not see that coming. So I'm gonna take who I think is probably the best. I have like a top 4 or 5 edge rushers that I would love to get, and I think Chop Robinson is like right under like Latu and Jared Verse.
We'll
and
see. I don't know. I think we'll see. I think he might be. He boom or bust, dog.
Chop Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he
Boom or bust
definitely
to me.
is. He definitely is, and that's why I say he's like right under those other guys for me. I think that he's a really good player, but I do agree with you 1,000,000% that he is boom or bust. He's a lot of athleticism, a lot of charts. That's what he is. He's a lot of charts. But I mean, I think that he's the most realistic, and he's my favorite guy left. Adisa Isaac, if we move back a little bit more, but I'm gonna. A lot of people got us taking Nate Wiggins. Like I said, I'm gonna be a little mindful of what I do here because I don't want to. This first one is a big one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chop. You guys got some offers. That may be too far back for you, but
That's kind of far back. But you got you
want to see what picks they have if they have something a little bit higher. No, they don't.
No, they don't got nothing higher. That's a lot of weight, though. That's a lot of weight.
That is.
That's a lot of weight. That's 30 picks. Feel me? I don't know if I want to do that. I know we're
this
doing
one's a little bit. This one.
Ooh.
That could make sense. That's a good weight too. But
I might do this one. That's not a terrible weight.
Why couldn't they offer me that?
Because they don't like you. They don't like you. I think I'm gonna take that one, dog. Is there anything else?
You have one more. That's not horrible either.
But I need that first rounder, though.
That one's that's sexy. That's sexy right there. No Diddy.
Yeah, I'm taking that one. Let's do it.
Now you don't have to wait in between picks as long when I'm picking.
Yeah, right. So hell no, reject. We ain't doing it no more. Okay, so we ain't doing it no more. So okay. So let's go. Let's go to my offensive lineman, offensive tackles. So we got out there. Oh wow, we got a just a smorgasbord of guys. Should I do Jonathan Morgan? But I think they like Graham Barton too. Well, did you see Graham Barton in there? Go to the overall people, Joe.
Everybody's saying that I'm biased. Maybe I am a little bit. Yeah, Graham Barton is the highest.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and get that Graham Barton because I know they want him.
That's a good pickup. That's especially at that point. God dang, come on, Giants.
Damn,
I can't have nothing, bro.
Bro, you was getting them every draft. Cut it out.
I know, but this was the final one. This was supposed to be the one, Dang, bro.
Oh,
people have been talking me into Junior Colson. I will say not really just people, but like I've watched a little bit more of him. I say it just because people have made me watch more of Junior Colson. I think that's what I should say. But I like him, and he feels safer than a Peyton Wilson. I will say that he feels safer just because of the injuries. That really, really does scare me with him. But Cooper BB here is really, really tempting. Maybe I should have went cornerback. What cornerbacks are left? Kamari Lassiter, I wouldn't be mad if we got him at all. That actually might be my pick. Cam Kitchens, I like these. I like all these safeties, if I'm being honest. So I don't think I gotta really reach. What are y'all saying? What are the people in the chat saying? What are people?
They said Colson's a dog.
Yeah, they still cut. Max Melton is not there. I wish he was.
Oh, that's his guy. You like Max Melton.
And he just was on a visit. He went first pick in the second round. He was just on a visit for Philly.
When's my next pick?
You're at 56, so you're right behind me.
Ooh.
So all right. I'm gonna go with how I think the Eagles would play this board out. I think that this now gives you the flexibility. You got your defensive lineman. I feel like this gives you the flexibility to now choose whether you want, Cam Jurgens to be the center or not. But I think he does. And now you got Cooper Beebe as your starting guard for the next 10 years. I'm cool with that. And this does leave me where I wanted to hopefully be. Let me just make sure before I go anywhere. Yeah, we're going to go with Kamari Lassiter. I've seen people take Kamari Lassiter in the first round, so I'll be happy if we take him in the second. I wouldn't be mad at that.
All right, y'all. Y'all talk to me. We drafting like the Cowboys drafting. We ain't drafting like I would draft. So I need some people to talk to me because would the Cowboys take Jonathan Brooks because we know they like him? You know, that's the running back. He's probably not going to be there if I try to wait. Or would y'all want to go with the Peyton Wilson? Or
you don't
Trey
like
Benson?
Trey Benson? Yeah, I was about to say you don't like Trey.
I like Trey Benson.
You can
Do y'all want to get
backfield?
Y'all want to get the running back now, Cowboys people? Are we thinking that the Cowboys are going to get the running back now, or gamble and get the linebacker? We gotta draft like how they would. See, we want Trey Benson, but they like that damn running back from Texas.
People said I should be forbidden from taking Penn State players in the first round. Everybody said that I was biased about Micah Parsons, and we see how he got.
And what's my next pick, Joe?
I believe 58 or 87. Excuse me.
We need a running back.
This is like the sucky position that you're in, like just like I was with my last pick, because it's like no matter what, the other position is going to be gone. You got to pick your poison. Even though I think I got that 100 pick, so that should help. Yeah, 108. That's actually pretty good because I know exactly who I'm taking there. You know exactly who I'm taking there if he's there.
Mm-hmm. We're going to get to Trey Benson.
Woo! Y'all talked him into it.
Y'all talked me into it because, I like defense. I'd rather a linebacker. I feel like my guys are going to be gone. Look, all of them gone. Look. Yep. Nope. Hell no. Give me a linebacker. Go to a linebacker. Give me a linebacker.
Yeah, they all gone. They all, even Jeremiah Trotter, he usually ain't gone by now, but
you're right. They took them all, dog.
I want to see who they took first.
Oh, but we still got Tommy. We still got Maris and Tommy.
Yeah, we still got Maris, Thomas. We still got Jalen Ford, who that's kind of who I'm hoping will be there at mine.
And Trevor Wallace ain't bad. And then when's my next pick after 87th though? Isn't it right around the corner?
Yeah. You have a bevy of picks.
And 140. We got to do this right, y'all. We got to do this right. What y'all want now? Yeah, I don't want to get Jalen Ford that early, though. Trevor Wallace,
You got Javon Bullard there. I don't know if you need safety.
Nah, we don't need no safety.
Devondre Sweat would be a godsend
for you.
I'm mad.
I'm taking him. I'm taking. Thank you.
Saw that. Damn, that would be a godsend for y'all.
Yes, I'm taking. Sign him up now.
Yeah, that would be a great pick for y'all. Y'all didn't re-sign Hankins, right? Y'all didn't.
No, he gone. Yeah. Go back to linebacker, dog. Go back to linebacker. Go back to linebacker. Can I get one? Can I still get one? Oh, I still got him. I still got him, Joe. Yeah, I know you
now I know
mad.
how
We're gonna
you
post
felt
this on
with the wide
Twitter.
receiver
We
one.
posted. Yeah, when I did them last ones, you was mad at me. I was mad at you. Now you're gonna be mad at me, and I like it.
I hate it. You going
I'm
with
glad you hate
Trevin,
it.
or you going with Trevin?
Ooh, what should I do? Should I? Because what? Who you like, Joe? Talk to me. You think Trevor Wallace better than Maris and or Tommy?
I think Trevor Wallace, if I'm not mistaken, he's got more of the body for it. Like he's a more athletic player. Tommy
He's
Eckler,
athletic as hell.
yeah.
They
Tommy's
like
more.
that.
Tommy's more like a. How do I say this without sounding like messed up?
He ain't a Cowboys pick. He ain't a
He,
Cowboys pick.
he reminds me more of what's homeboy name that had the messed up neck?
Oh yeah.
He reminds me a lot of him.
Vander
That might be a
LVE.
bad,
LVE.
that might be a bad
I don't want
comparison
him.
to some people, but that's who he reminds me of, the way he plays. But
I
Maris
feel
is
you.
really
We're
good
gonna go
too.
Trevor
Maris is
Wallace.
really
I like Maris, but we're gonna go Trevor Wallace. Let's do it. Do it.
good. Yeah, now I got nobody. I wouldn't have mind Trevor Wallace. All right, let's see if my guy's here.
See, I like that you said that. I like how you said you wouldn't have mind that. I'm glad I took him.
He's a good player. He's a really good player. There's a good amount of linebackers in this class. They just all are kind of different in what they can do and what they are. See, I like Demirson. I like him a lot, but I love Malik Mustafa. Malik Mustafa is somebody I feel like
that's your guy.
Yeah, I feel like if this is the final one, I need to get his name on here because that's the guy I've been pounding the table for. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Malik Mustafa. We need to get a safety. We do need a safety. We got our cornerback last round. I'm not gonna reach on any of these linebackers. I mean, you can.
You ain't reaching if you get Tommy Ramirez though.
Yeah, I don't think that's a terrible reach. But I feel like if I
what round is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're in the 4th round, but if I take one of them, I'm not getting any good safeties at 174.
You better take that safety, dog.
That's why I'm feeling that. Yeah, because maybe at 174,
take that Malik Mustafa, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Malik Mustafa. I'm overthinking it. I'm
about to say you're doing too much, dog.
Yeah, I was. Thank you for shutting me up. All right.
So let's go to my receivers. Let's see if we got anything out there receiver wise. Ooh, Luke ain't bad right there. Luke is sneaky right there.
He's a good player.
I'm getting Luke right here. I'm getting a Luke right here. I'm taking Luke right here. We saw him.
A funny name.
He's nice.
Yeah, he's
right?
Really good. Some of these names are hilarious. All right, let's see.
His name is Little Trick.
Little Trick. Some of these names are crazy, bro. Yeah, nobody I love. I've talked about a lot of these guys at nauseum because I feel like I always am at this point in the draft where I forget to draft a tight end. But I do think that's something the Eagles need to get. Garrett Greenfield makes a lot of sense right here. Let me see who else we have. Jonah Ellis makes a ton of sense.
Storm Duck.
Yeah,
we got a good draft here, Cowboys. Feel good about this one. You said trade back, dog. I did it.
Just for the people that are like, why not him? Why not him? The only 3 people I'm seriously considering right now is going to probably be Garrett Greenfield, Jonah Ellis, and I think there was one other guy I saw that I.
Ooh, Jonah Ellis ain't bad at that edge.
And Eric All. Those are probably the only 3 I'm thinking of. Maybe even AJ Barner. But I'm going to go with Jonah Ellis just because I do think that the edge rushing position right now for the Eagles, while it's not terrible, it is a question in my opinion. So I think you load up with young talent. I think Jonah Ellis is a dog, and I think he's a steal at 161. So I'm going to go with him. And then you can still turn around, and I'm hoping get Greenfield, which you can get Garrett Greenfield. He'll be a guy that can fill in, be a swing tackle, and then hopefully fill in long-term for my guy, Lane Johnson. Now I'm thinking Eric All. I just want to make sure I don't miss out on anybody I love. Do I have any more picks? I do have a couple more. So I'm going to hope that a couple of these guys fall to me. Defensive tackle doesn't make the worst of sense right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receiver. I like Anaya Smith. We did have a meeting with him. But I just feel like tight end is a position. We did just sign somebody.
He's nice. That CJ, he's nice. He's a good backup. He played for
Yeah,
the Bengals.
CJ.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, I forget what his last name is. Yeah, yeah, I forget his last name.
He's good,
Yeah,
though.
he's
He's good,
decent.
though.
He's decent, but
Yeah, he's
we're
decent.
gonna need somebody
He's
for the long term too. But this might not be where we get it. I'm gonna go with Christian Boyd. I'm gonna shore up that line a little bit more. I think that he's a guy that can grow with this team, and another guy that I just feel is underrated. To be honest, that's not a bad trade for you. That's not a bad trade.
I know. I'm looking at that. Go ahead. Let's do it.
All right.
All right. Let's go. Let's go to corner. Ooh, Jarvis Brownlee.
I like him.
Pull up Jarvis Brownlee. He's pretty. That'd be a good pick for that spot. Can you pull up Jarvis Brownlee for me, please?
He was at the. They don't even got nothing on him. He was at the.
Yeah, but he was at the. Yeah, I'm picking him because I liked him.
Yeah, he was scrappy. He was scrappy.
Real scrappy. Real scrappy.
All right, I'm hoping my guy stays here. All right. Hopefully he's still.
Oh, damn, I was gonna get Miles Cole too.
This feels like a good spot for the Eagles to look at. Running back. I mean,
yeah, you better scoop your boy from Troy.
I'm thinking about it.
He'd be or Rasheen Ali from Marshall. You know, I liked him too. He looked all right between them two. Vidal was turning up in that game though.
It comes down to like what type of running back do you have running with Saquon Barkley? Like, are you looking for a change of pace? Are you looking for a
he's got to be a change of pace.
That's what I'm thinking, and I feel like Vidal might be more of that than Racine Ali.
I don't know about that.
I wish
Racine he could get the ball at the backfield, but I mean Vidal, he was running that ball though. I don't know. Vidal's he's little and he's hard nosed. Y'all like them guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Vidal. Let me see.
He could be a fan favorite.
That's what I'm saying, because we had a little guy, Darren Sproles, we had Boston Scott. We usually have that little guy that could.
You always got that little guy.
I like Eric Watts too, but no, I'm not gonna get him here. Okay, so yeah, or I'm gonna go Anaya Smith. I'm either going wide receiver or running back. Where should I go? Wide receiver. First person that answers. First person that answers, I'm going with it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got over 200 people still in the chat. We appreciate y'all. Yeah, some people are already saying they're gonna send me the mock draft. So yeah, send me your mock draft. Send James your mock draft.
Your mock draft. DM in. Yep.
I'm about to ask my girl what I should pick. I'm right there. All right, wide receiver. Say last. So we're taking
Anaya Smith. Who you taking?
Yep. Anaya
Smith.
Made it easy for me. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you. You back on the board.
Oh damn! They took my guy. San Francisco did.
Oh, right before you too.
Right before me, dog. Edges? What edges we got out there?
I like Eric Watts. He's like 6'5".
Me too. Yeah.
Thing too. Gabriel Murphy too. Jalen Harrell.
No, I'm getting Jalen Harrell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and scoop Jalen Harrell right here.
Javonte Jean-Baptiste is good too.
Yeah, he is, but I'm gonna go ahead because they like Michigan guys. Ooh.
You still got 2 more picks, I believe.
I still got 2 more.
You still got 3 more picks. Is it?
Let's get What offensive lineman we got? Oh, there go my Jaden Crumity. Get him. Get him. No, you know where we going. Go ahead and get
Yeah,
Jaden. 'Cause They,
that's why I
yeah,
circled.
they
He
played
saw
me
me
last time.
circle. I was like,
Yeah, yeah. You know they played me last time, and we got back to backers. So let's do what offensive lineman we got?
Prince Pines. Some of these names are dope.
Right. See, I don't know right here. I'm lost right here. Reaching.
I can't. I wouldn't be able to tell you too much.
Let me get
Ethan Driscoll was at the
what is
Senior Bowl.
oh yeah. Let's scoop Ethan.
He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. I believe he met with y'all too at the Senior Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. He said that.
Yeah, and I interview Ethan.
And then you got
get Jordan right here.
Jordan
Get Jordan right
Whittington?
here. Jordan Whitman. Yup. Ooh, I like this draft, dog. And we got a first rounder.
Just to see who was the last pick. Isaac Rex. Yeah, Luke Kramer got picked. That was like, all right. I don't know why I wanted to look at that. Anyways, you want to go over your picks real quick?
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like this was a draft. This was a draft, y'all. We make sure, Joe, you screenshot it, all that good stuff, because we got to post this one because everybody want to be Captain Trade Back. So we jumping in the trade back game. So we was trade back gang, y'all, and we still got Graham Barton, and y'all know they like him. Versatile guy. They got him at center, guard. He can play tackle. He played all three positions. They think he's his best position. A lot of people think his best position is center. He's got a nice little nasty depth position to him too. So he gets down and dirty. So we like that right there. And then we fought back and forth on the running back or the linebacker. Peyton Wilson was there. There was quite a bit of good linebackers there. But Trey Benson, explosive, big back, has everything that you kind of want. Obviously, the Brooks kid was there from Texas, but Trey Benson is ready right now. He has to be a little bit more patient in the hole, trust his instincts a little bit more. But when he can do that, man, he's going to hit that ground running. He is what they call an every down back. That's what the Cowboys need. So that was great. Then the steal to me was T'Vondre Sweat at 87. Maybe he dropped. Maybe they even had it in here where he got in trouble a little bit, right? Off field already. And maybe they factored that in this draft. But I don't care what happened. We got a 6'4", 370. 370. Big. 370, y'all. Did we see him at the Senior Bowl? And we saw when he wanted to turn up, he was unstoppable, right? So, man. And then, Miles, we don't know about him. Boom. That's perfect right there. Then we got Trevor Wallace. There was some linebackers out there. Maris, we talked about Tommy from O State. But I think this is the guy that fits the bill for the Cowboys because they like fast, they like explosive, and they like athletic. And Trevor Wallace hits all three of those check marks. Great pick for them. And he can flow right with Kendricks. You still got Damone Clark. Who knows? Michael Parsons might play there. I think it's what they would really like. Luke McCaffrey was another steal, in my opinion. McCaffrey is a do-it-all player. Can play in the slide. He was a former quarterback, converted to receiver, and doesn't have the size as his pops and those guys, but he does all the little things. You feel me? He's the one he's the bigger Cole Beasley. That's what I'm gonna say. He's the bigger Cole Beasley. We saw Cole Beasley had a pretty nice career. So Luke McCaffrey is a great pick right there. Jarvis Brownlee, scrappy, like you said. We saw him at the Senior Bowl, Joe. The thing that we noticed about him was his scrappiness. Always around the play, was just in people's face. We love his scrappiness, and to get him at 177, we love that. Jalen Harrell off the edge. I like him. Interviewed him. Talked to his father. I think he's a sneaky pick, and for where we're picking at 216, He's somebody sneaky, could sneak up on you, be a good third down guy. He could be a thumper. He could be like the Dorrance Armstrong. You lost the Dorrance Armstrong to the Washington Commanders. He could be a guy that could do that. Now I got my guy Jaden Crumedy. I've been telling you, all right, no, I only missed him on one draft. I just think this is the place for him. You know what I mean? Great rotational guy. You got Fehoko coming back from next year, who was pretty much a red shirt. Now Crumedy is in there. You got Tavondre Sweat. Now you're building up the defensive tackle room, and that's what you want, right? So that's what we want to do. We want to build that defensive tackle room up. Ethan Driscoll, hey, they already got a guy from Martian, Josh Ball. Doesn't look like he's going to work out, but I like Ethan's size. Huge guy. Interviewing him, he's towers over. He's a full straight up 6'8". Let's just see, right? Developmental. Let's see. You got developmental guys on the team. He could be a developmental guy. And then Jordan Whittington, that's another receiver in the fold. You got a lot of guys that could be some guys that could step up for you that you picked up from last year. So I think this is a guy in the fold. And you got your 2025 first round pick, which is huge. So I'm coming away from this draft feeling like this is damn near a B+, maybe a A-.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I was gonna say big plus. And that first round pick kind of makes it a territory. I definitely Ethan Driscoll, to kind of go on what you were saying when you interviewed him. He didn't shy away from that question because you asked him about Josh Ball. I was kind of surprised.
I did. You know what?
You brought that thing
hey,
up.
You know,
like, hey,
Joe. You know I don't care. I had to bring it up. Like, you know, Josh Ball's a team. He ain't did shit. So that's what you talking. He said, well, basically, you know, I ain't Josh. Basically, what he told me was I ain't Josh Ball though.
Yeah, he handled that like a pro. I was like, yo, James wild for that. But I mean, he didn't ask it disrespectfully or anything like that. But it was just funny. It was funny. Right. I'll give you B+, A-. I'll give you an A- on that. I'll be real.
All right, that's what's up. I appreciate that.
So you walked away with a first round pick. I walked away with a third round pick. Not as beautiful, but still something. So we got Chop Robinson in the first round. Like you said, he is a boomer bust prospect. You're drafting him on his ceiling, but at 23, it's going to be hard to find something unless I would have went with Cooper DeJean, which I would have had to stay at 22 to get him in this draft. Right. At least, you know, if somebody else falls, then we could be having a different conversation. I just think that Chop Robinson has the highest ceiling at that edge position that was still available. So I went with him. I get it. Penn State, I still love him. Cooper BB. I mean, we've talked about him all off season.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's a baller, man. He's going to be a guy that I think you put him in there at guard, he's going to be there for, like I said, 10 years. So I'm always down to get a 10-year player in the second round. So Cooper Beebe, welcome to Philly. Kamari Lassiter, another guy that I saw people taking him at 22, and I saw people not being upset about that. And I think that that's a reach. I'm going to be real with you, but I don't think you'll get him at 53. So to be able to get him at 53 was awesome, and I'll take that every day and 2 times on a Sunday. But again, I don't think he'll be there, but if he is, I would love it. Malik Musa and Kamari has the length, he has the speed, he has literally everything you want in a cornerback, and a starting cornerback outside guy. He's just not named Kool-Aid, and I think that's what, you know, some people might hold against him. It is what it is. Malik Mustafa, I'm not going to drown you guys. I know how I love Malik Mustafa. It is what it is. I hope that the Eagles draft him. He's a great player. A little undersized, really undersized. I think he actually officially measured in at 5'9", but he does not play it. He plays bigger, he plays stronger. So I love that guy. Jonah Ellis is a guy that, honestly, the past, I'll say month and a half, I've really started looking at, and kid's a dog. I mean, he's an actual dog. I think that he's somebody that can, again, grow with this defensive line. You can kind of move him around the defensive line. I think he's somebody that can learn from a Brandon Graham and utilize some of his techniques to at the next level. So I think Jonah Ellis will be a really interesting prospect for the Eagles. And I think he's an Eagles guy. Kind of like you were talking about Jaden Crumedy is just like a Dallas Cowboys guy. I feel like Jonah Ellis is an Eagles type of guy. Garrett Greenfield, another guy that I think is kind of like an Eagles type of guy. Outside tackle, they got him listed at, but he can kind of move around. And we do need a swing tackle. And again, I think he's somebody that can learn from Lane Johnson, sit back behind him, and hopefully take over when it is time for Lane Johnson to move on. Christian Boyd, another guy that, you know, I've been kind of looking at more the past couple of weeks, I'll say probably month, the Eagles did meet with him. So he's an interesting guy, Northern Iowa, not the biggest of schools, but if you turn on his tape, you see just violence, and I love violence. So I would love to see Christian Boyd and Philly. Anaya Smith is somebody that I've taken a couple times in our mock drafts, and I've stood kind of steadfast that if we can get him in the 6th, 7th round, I wouldn't be mad at it. I think he can start for you. I think that he can be your number 3 wide receiver, especially in our offense where the number 3 wide receiver is probably like the 5th, 6th option. So I would not be mad at that at all. I think he's a really good player. Another guy that the Eagles have met with. I believe the Eagles met with all of these players in some capacity except for Malik Mustafa, if I'm not mistaken. So I know that they've met with almost every single person on this list. So it makes sense to me for the Eagles. This knocks off checks a lot of boxes for you and everything. So I think that if I'm giving you an A-, I'm gonna give myself a B+. I think that this is still a very good draft. Chop Robinson, 3 years from that draft.
I can't give you a B+, dog. I can't give you a B+, dog. You my dog. I can't.
How about a B? I'll take a B.
Huh?
B-. That's what Drew said. Drew said I get a B-. I'll take that because I understand that Chop Robinson.
B-.
It's all based on Chop Robinson, though. If Chop Robinson is good, this is an A- draft.
The pressure on him.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that I think will help him is that we're not going to ask him to be that guy right away. We're going to, we're basically going to have a rotation because we always do. So I'm hoping that this is a good spot for a young guy like him to come into. We'll see though. I mean, like you said, he's a boomer bust guy. He's going to be all about what he does at the next level. So we'll see. I like him. Nobody else seems to like him in Philly. Yes, I know I'm alone there. It wasn't the first time. It won't be the first time. Won't be the last time that I'm alone on it. But at the end of the day, we still got 209 people in here. Shout out to everybody still in the chat, man. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. And one more time, if you weren't in here before we started the mock draft, send your mock drafts to us on Twitter, DMs, however you guys follow us, and we'll go through them. And we'll bring up some of the best ones that we saw, and we'll talk about it next week before the actual draft. But I mean, so I'll take B-. You got an A-. It's nice that you at least got one of the drafts. You know what I'm saying? The most important one, I feel like, because this is the last one. You know what I'm saying? But
this was the big one. I because that last draft we did, I sucked. That draft I did last time was terrible because we had George on there, and he took all the damn picks. He took all the good damn picks, and then after he took all the picks, you took all the picks. Hey. So that was where that draft right there, you had to really know what the hell you were doing. Like you had to really know the players in that draft because you're dealing with people that know the content, know their team, and know what their team is probably wanting their draft and how the team was drafting. And George came out of that draft last time. That was a damn A draft he had.
Yeah, that was an impressive one. Here we got one more super chat.
Shout out to you, Johnny Duncan Sr. for the 499 holla. Offensive line, running back, defensive tackle, GM, BGJ. Yeah, I appreciate that. We was looking because we was already talking about the 3 picks that the Cowboys are going to do if they don't trade back or anything. It's going to be an offensive lineman, it's going to be a running back, and it's going to be a linebacker, right? So at the end of the day, we met those and got the sneaky top-rated defensive tackle in there. That's what nailed it, in my opinion. Him falling the 3rd, and I'll thank Joe. He's the best of enemies today because he was like, oh, damn, Sweat's right there. I didn't see it right quick. And thank you, Joe, for doing that because now he's going to haunt you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's why that's why I would not be in the Cowboys war room. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna accidentally say nothing. Nah, that would be a perfect pick for y'all. He really would.
Dog, if that fell, so many problems. Bro, if he fell to us, oh my God, that'd be a godsend. If he fell in the 3rd round because people are worried about the off field, please worry about the off field with him. Please say don't draft him. Knock him off your boards, please. At all costs, knock him off your boards.
Nah, take him early. Everybody take him, not the Eagles, but somebody else. Take him early. Take him real early. I mean, realistically, I wouldn't even fault the Cowboys if they took him in the first. I really wouldn't. I would not fault them because I feel like
I ain't gonna be mad at it, but I just feel like
it's a reach.
it's a reach. If they were to pick him, bro, that's just a lot of pressure. I just feel like I don't want that because that's a lot of pressure on the big guys, and they're not gonna be getting sacks. They're gonna be doing the dirty work, and so they're not gonna get the appreciation where other players probably would. So that's the only reason why I would stay away from that because. And we saw his motor. It ain't always hot, Joe, and that's a concern.
Facts. No, that's 100% true. 100% true. Yeah, it will be interesting. This draft is going to probably go in ways that we have no idea. We're not expecting at all. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited to be either disappointed or very, very excited. That's I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles don't even have a first round pick. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens, man. But shout out to everybody still in here, man. You got anything you want to say to these beautiful people before we get up out of here?
No, just shout out to everybody that was in the chat today. Great draft today. Great draft talk. We've been away for about a few weeks, so it's always good when you're away and you come back and you got a fire chat and a fire show. That's always good. And then, you know what I'm saying? Let's get ready for the draft. It's going to be exciting. The draft, to me, is always the most, not one of the most exciting, but pretty much because now you're ushering in new players and you're interested to see what they can do for your team. So that's going to just be the exciting part. It's not too far away, not down the street. So just interested in if the Cowboys drafted the way we just drafted right here, I'm going to feel good about that one.
I won't. I'll be very upset if the Cowboys takes a page from James' book. I'm gonna be pissed off. I'll tell you that much.
Cowboys, just watch the feed, bro. Like I know what I'm doing on this one. Cowboys, well, let's watch the feed on this one. I know y'all be silent and ghost watching anyway. Go ahead and ghost watch this one and go take your little bots and go tell Jerry Jones. Bot this one.
I have all my bots programmed, so if they see anything with the words Jerry or Jones in it, they just block them automatically, the username. So
them bots is crazy, dog. Bots is crazy. Hey, them sex bots on Twitter, y'all crazy. They talking back now.
They be talking football too. That's the crazy. They be like, no,
they talk football
way better. But check my link out,
bro.
Like,
I seen this. Bro, I seen this female. She was like, "Yeah, he's real good." I'm like, "Bro, what?" Then she like, "Go to my bio." I'm like, "They wild." These sex bots is crazy.
It's so true, bro. You don't know what you talk about. Hurts is the GOAT. But free link in the bio. Like,
right,
wait, what?
I
be thinking I'm gonna watch
free link in the bio
or some shit. Oh my God,
them links in the bio ain't ESPN, bro.
Oh man, if you guys are under 18, just don't even go on Twitter at this point. To be 100% honest with you, it's not worth it. It is not worth it.
Stay away from it.
That's a whole nother.
Twitter is of the devil.
Yeah, Twitter is. It really is. It really is. But
it really is. Not lying. It really is.
The first round of the draft is Thursday, the 24th, 25th, I think, actually. Either way, I know it's Thursday, right? So I think we're leaning towards going live for the first round. We'll see where you are if you're able to, be out of work and everything. But that's what we're assuming we're going to be doing. And if not, we'll do the mock drafts probably right before. But we'll figure that out. But we're going to take all your mock drafts. We're going to do those. We're going to talk about them. So definitely send those. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anything before we get off here. But yeah, no, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Go to our Twitters because we're going to be posting these mock drafts and we're going to still be having conversations about them tonight. So definitely come on over there. But other than that, I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm going to stop bothering y'all. I am Joe, and that's my dog, James. We are the best enemies.
Peace.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored.